What's up?
What up, dude?
It's all good, man.
We've been talking about doing this for a long time now.
At least a year.
Is it going on a year?
Yeah, it's been a while, man.
I think we were gonna do it back in June, and that was when I got sick.
Yeah, that's when you got sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was June, so it's been 6 months.
Yeah.
To me, that's a year.
Basically,
I'm on
man.
Alabama time.
Right. Well, everything's different, right? So
If
in
you're
Alabama,
listening and not from Alabama, we're behind.
we are always a little bit behind. That's why we rely on I think California and stuff to like set the trends and see what works. And then we're the late adopters for everything.
And they're 2 hours behind us, so that even makes it better.
You're right.
We're already slow, now we're 2 hours behind California.
We're behind in real time.
That's what I'm getting at.
Cool, man.
Except for right now, we're live and in living color.
Dude, I'm so excited that you're here to talk with us, man.
Thank
This
you.
is the first episode, and I can't think of anybody I'd rather have.
Thank you very much, man.
Man, we've known you for
3.
Is it 3 years now?
Over 3, yeah.
Ever since y'all opened up at the Beer Hog.
Well, September 2nd was 3 years.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So everybody, this is Goose, my good buddy from the Beer Hog.
Beer Hog.
Yeah, man, the Beer Hog's awesome.
It is. It's a cool place.
What's like the coolest thing about working there?
I'm on stage.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's like I clock in every day and I'm going to showtime. So I can basically do what I want to do up to a limit, say what I want to say. We don't have an HR department, which, as I said a while ago, I'd have been gone after about 2 days.
Yeah, you got to work to get fired at the Beer Hog.
Yeah, you do have to work to get fired at the Beer Hog. So,
No offense to anybody who might be listening that may.
I mean, there's rules and regulations,
the
but,
stuff
you know,
you got to do.
yeah, you do what you have to do.
All right, what's the most stressful part about it? Or something that you don't like about it?
You know what, to be honest with you, it opens your eyes to how you act when you go out in public. If you go to a bar, because every day, every night, I see someone who's had one too many, and we tried to curb that. And you look at them and go, I hope you realize just how you look right now to everyone else. And you think you're cool, but in reality, you're not.
Right.
So that's the big thing for me, and it's changed me a lot too. Not that I was ever a heavy drinker or anything like that, but now it's like, of course, if you work somewhere, if you worked at a burger joint or whatever, the last thing you want is a burger when you go home. So the last thing I want when I go home is a beer.
Right.
So.
Well, just talking about people acting that way, that's kind of the key trait of alcohol, period. I'm glad that they only sell beer, though, because that's the worst, is working where they sell hard liquor.
Because then, here's the thing about someone who drinks craft beer or any beer, but up at a craft beer level on another level. If you cut them off and you go, dude, I think you've had a little bit too much to drink, 9 times out of 10, they're cool with it.
Yeah.
You go to a bar, which I've worked at before, and they're 3 or 4 shots into something, or Crown and Cokes, whatever.
3 or 4 is light.
Really, it's a minimum.
Yeah.
And you go, dude, I think you had too much. Then they want to cuss you. Then your mom
fight you.
They want to fight you. They want to spit you. I'll meet you in a parking lot.
Yeah, I'll be waiting for you when you get off work tonight.
We've had none of that. We've had no fights. We've had to escort one person out.
Yeah.
Ever in 3.
There's never been a fight at the Beer Hog.
Nope. And I've had a beer thrown at me, which I deserved it, but.
What'd you do to deserve having a beer thrown at you?
I made an inappropriate comment, I'm sure.
Yeah. That's fun.
Yeah.
I had somebody throw a beer at us one time on stage.
I wonder why.
Oh,
were you playing wagon wheel?
Maybe. I don't know. That's so funny too, because it's like, I really like that's one thing about what we do that I've learned. And for those of you who don't know, I have an acoustic duo with Greg Neal, very talented guitar player that I'm fortunate to have working with me. And but we would always we would really listen to the wrong people about advice, about like what to play, how to play it, is this in the right key. And the reality of it is 99% or more of the people at any given place and time don't give a shit. They just don't.
You listen to yourself.
Right.
Always listen to yourself.
Yeah.
Because everybody, like at work, everybody's a bartender.
Yeah.
Everybody. I'm like, dude, if you want to swap, let me get on that side. If you want to do my job, more power to you.
Right.
But that's another pet peeve of mine. Don't try to be the bartender if you're a guest.
Yeah. Well, that should just go without saying. And I know you had like your rant that you did on Facebook, and I enjoyed giving you a hard time about it. And I think everybody has. But
and it's true.
All right, so let's get to some meat here on what you're doing.
Okay.
So the Got Goose campaign
Yes.
that you've been doing, tell us just give us like the brief rundown overview of what you're doing.
What I do, or what I've been doing really since February of 3 years ago, with February will be 3 years ago, I raise money for charities. And my charity of choice has been Children's Hospital of Birmingham. I'm proud to say that from January 1st of 2019 until about 2 weeks ago, within 1 year, we raised over $10,000 in cash to buy toys and to donate for the Children's Hospital in Birmingham. So I'm really happy. I'm really proud. And I mean, I could go on about it, but it's all about the people you surround yourself with. And there's not a person in my life right now that I would trade for anything on this earth. So even you.
I appreciate that,
Yeah.
man.
So
Well, it's been really cool. So like, but how did it like really start? Like, did you have like an amount of money you were just going to give? That was kind of how I understood it. Was that you were going to give like $500 and then decided, wait, why would I do that when I can turn that $500 into more money for them?
if we want to
that
get
kind of
down to the beginning of everything.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So Super Bowl Sunday 3 years ago, the Atlanta Falcons were playing the New England Patriots. Going into the fourth quarter, the Atlanta Falcons were up by like 21 or 24 points. And I had my Falcons jersey on. I've been a Falcons fan since, I grew up in Alabama, so that was the closest pro team we had.
Right.
So going into the fourth quarter, my buddy Aaron Saxon comes up to me and he's like, Goose, don't count out he said, don't count out Tom Brady and the Patriots. You know, they've been known to come back. And I basically said, screw Tom Brady and the Patriots. If they come back and win this game, I will shave my head.
Boom.
Boom. We all know what happened. The Atlanta Falcons folded, and the Patriots beat them in overtime. And so I'm looking around, and we're not really a sports bar per se, but we show the games.
Right.
So, you know, at the fourth quarter, people start clearing out because Atlanta's up by 21 or 24
It's
points.
over. There's nothing else to
with.
see.
Basically, it's over with, right? And as somebody once said, it's not over till it's over, right? So, you know, touchdown, field goal. It's a tie ball game. We're going overtime, and I'm starting to sweat a little bit because my hair has never been short, ever. I was born with Peter Frampton hair. You know what I'm saying? 1976 Peter Frampton hair. Anyway.
What's the longest you've had your hair?
As far as length?
Yeah.
Mid-back.
Okay.
1988.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's good stuff right
hair
there.
was longer than my wife's hair when I got married. Which is
Yeah,
good
yeah.
because here's what happened. I know we're going to straight
Yeah,
here.
yeah, it was
But
fine.
so when you're tall and slender like I am, and you have short hair, people go, "Hey man, do you play basketball?" All right. But if you're tall and slender and got long hair, you know what they say?
Huh.
Are you in a band? Yes, I am. I can't play a lick. I can now, but back then in '88, I didn't know a chord from anything. Right.
Right.
So yeah, it helped.
You passed for it.
It
and-
helped with
yeah.
the chicks. Let me just
Yeah.
say that before I was married. So
See, some people will learn how to play the instrument so that they can get the chicks, but it's totally not necessary.
all you have
Just
to do is grow your hair,
your
baby.
hair out.
That's it. Well, back then, that's the way it was.
Right.
Now most musicians have short hair
Yeah.
and all that stuff. So now
It's not really risque anymore for a man to have long hair. And it wasn't to begin with. I don't know how we got into the whole.
Oh, Robert Plant.
Is that? Yeah.
God, look at. I mean,
Yeah.
he was a golden goddess, man. Well, maybe the tie pants helped too. I don't know. Anyway, so getting back to the Atlanta Falcons
Yeah,
and the
sorry
New
for
England.
that.
So anyway, so I look around the bar and there's like 4 people there after the game. And I'm sitting there going, I don't see Aaron, the guy I made the little comment to. So I'm thinking, man, this is one time I put my foot in my mouth and I'm going to get away with it. No, here comes Aaron bebopping up to the bar going, so Goose, when are you going to shave your head? And I'm like, I said, let's make a deal, right? And he's like, okay, what? I said, how about if I just do a number 2 clip and we raise money, let people throw money in this jar, and then anybody who donates money will put their name on a sheet of paper, and then on a given night, we're going to Facebook it live, and we draw names and let you take a whack at my hair. And I make a lot of people mad up there, so I'm going, I can get a lot of people to do it. So we're going to do like a number 5 clip, a number 3 clip, and then go into a number 2 clip, depending on how many people we had that wanted to shave my head. So in about a 2-week period, we raised about $1,200 just in donations on people who wanted to shave my head. The checks that were sent in, I had checks from family and friends that I've known for 30, 35 years send me 20, 50 bucks, whatever. So we had all the checks made out to the Beer Hog, and then the cash came in, and we kept it in this big mason jar or this big pickle jar or whatever at the bar that had a picture of me with the long hair and go, do you want to pluck the goose? Anyway, so it took off, and we raised about $1,200. So the $500 in checks that came in, we sent to St. Jude in Memphis, because I was still up in the air on who I wanted to
benefit
yeah. from my running my mouth. So so we took the cash, and at one time I lived in Southside, close to Dreamland Barbecue, and my bedroom window faced downtown Birmingham. I had a beautiful view of downtown, and I saw this big, beautiful building that had these lights on it, which ended up being the Children's Hospital of Birmingham. Mm-hmm. And so people at work would go, Goose, where do you live? Blah, 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 blah. And then one day they said, have you ever visited the hospital? I said, no. They said, maybe you should. So I went down one day, and I made it about 15 minutes. And I came back with a realization that I don't have any problems. And then somebody would come up to me and go, man, my cell phone my internet didn't work. I said, brother, you don't have problems. Go down there for 15 minutes and then come back and tell me about your problems. So that was my initial thing with the Children's Hospital, seeing what was going on there and seeing the volunteers and everything else that went on, which is really, really remarkable. So with the $600 I had left over, $600 or $700, I initially went to a department store in Birmingham, and I've never been a dad, so I've never had to buy toys, buy them for my niece and nephews and whatever. So I have $600 or $700 to deal with, and I'm loading up all these buggies with playing cards and Dr. Seuss books and coloring books and Barbies and whatever was out 3 years ago. And so I did that and had a little money left over, and then went to Michael's in Hoover, and I go there a lot to frame my art stuff, and so I know the manager, and so he saw me buying arts and crafts there, and he's like, what's going on? Because this is not what you normally do. Anyway, so he let me go through his line at the register, and he swiped his manager card, he swiped whatever, and gave me like 50 or 60% off.
Wow.
Myself. So with that money,
Very cool.
I had more money.
Yeah.
To buy. So I went to another Walmart, and when you're a single guy and you've got 2 carts full of toys, people stop and ask you questions. What's going on? You got some kids to buy for? I'm going, yeah, I got probably 350 kids to buy for. So as I'm telling them my story, then they want to get involved. So there's a lot of handshakes, a lot of hugs, a lot of tears being shed at Walmart, and I'm feeling like, you know what, this is not really what I want, but I don't really want the notoriety for it. It's just the way it is. So anyway, so we bought all the toys and delivered them down to the Children's Hospital. And so when I took them, all they have there to bring the toys from your car or whatever up to the 2nd or 3rd floor are these little radio flower wagons, little red wagons. And so after about the 5th trip of coming back up, the lady says, normally when a corporation donates this many toys, they call us in advance and we make something out of it. And I'm like, well, I'm not a corporation. Well, I told her my story. Well, that got more people involved at Children's, So anyway, so that was my initial thing, shaving my head, and the Atlanta Falcons couldn't beat started at all. So now, chime in whenever you want to. So now...
No, I'm just listening, man.
Okay.
This is good.
So I did that. And so then last November, and throughout the year, the beauty of the people you surround yourself with, once they know you're doing something, and it doesn't really matter if my name is on it, whatever, if it's a good charity, people will give to it. And they did throughout the year. So I set up a separate little account, and if I got $10 in, $10 went to the bank. If somebody donated $100, it went to the bank. So then my ego got a little bit bigger, and I decided to make these shirts that said, what would Goose do on it? Which you probably own one. Mm-hmm. And I've got a beautiful niece who is now in Indiana, but she made me some coffee mugs that said, what would Goose do on it? That changed colors when they got hot and cold.
Cool. Yeah.
And some keychains. So originally I started off with about 35 of these shirts, and I'm thinking, I'm either going to be the biggest ass or this thing is going to work. Who's got an ego big enough to put their name on a shirt saying, what would Goose do on it? And the first 30 sold out in about 3 days. Nothing but donations. I never said $20 a piece or $10 a piece or $50. within 3 days, I made about $600 off of shirts.
Wow.
So I ordered another 40 or 50 of them around Thanksgiving of last year. So the screen printing place downtown Birmingham, we had a little miscommunication on when I could pick my shirts up. So I was going to go in on a Monday before Thanksgiving, and they were closed. I didn't know that, so I called, and I was like, this is Goose, and I really tried to get these shirts and all this stuff. Well, they were closed for the whole week. So I went back the following Monday, and I was like, and the guy apologized. He's like, man, I'm sorry. He's like, miscommunication. He's like, can you still use the shirts? I said, yeah, I can. I'm going to do this through December 18th. He said, I'll tell you what. He's like, I've got a grandson who goes to Children's. I appreciate what you're doing. Shirts on the house. This is about $480 worth of shirts cost on my part. Gave them to me.
Wow.
So off those shirts, I made another, I don't know.
Because he was able to contribute like whatever his actual cost is, which is going to be negligible compared to the retail that you were about to pay for, right?
Oh,
so,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
So that's a huge, huge way to
because the first thing is shirts, and everything I did, I took out of my pocket. I never recoup any money that comes out of my pocket. That's my way of donating. Mm-hmm. If I spend $280 and I can make $600, that's a pretty good investment.
Yeah,
and it
absolutely.
all goes to the kids. So anyway, off those shirts, I made another, I don't know, $900, and I ordered another 30. So between November of 18 and December 18th, a month later, we raised right at $2,500 for the Children's Hospital, strictly donations through the Beer Hog. So I went down and bought $2,500 worth of toys again. And same reaction. You got 2 buggies full of toys, and,
right.
and people want to get involved. And my whole thing is, you can do it. Just put your mind to it, surround yourself with the correct people, and you can do anything on this earth. And I'm living proof to it. So we did that. So then I was like, okay, I'm paying a little bit of money to get these shirts made. So I invested in a little press at home and a little vinyl cutter so I can make these little shirts.
Were you doing like the screen, was it silk screening?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, these are good shirts. I mean, these are little, wash them once and they
Right. No, it's not like the iron-on, what is it, the things you can get at like Best Buy or Office Depot or wherever. You just, you print it out and then you put the iron on it, and it's just cheap, and you wash it like twice, it's gone.
No, that didn't happen. So then I went and bought a nice press to do my own shirts at home, because I do a lot of prototypes, and I'm really not, I'm like, I can save a little money, So I made some shirts that says "Got Goose" on it instead of "Got Milk." Got Goose. So these I can make at home for about $7 or $8. So throughout the year, from January of 2019 until about May, I was doing these shirts at work, and bless the Beer Hog for letting me sell my product there, because a lot of places don't let you do that.
Yeah, I mean, if it was like a corporate thing, they'd have some sort of something.
But they're cool enough. Chris and Josh and everybody there let me do this stuff.
God, I love the Beer Hog so much.
Yeah, and it gets better. So around May of last year, Wes and Greg, yourself, and Greg played a gig, and you're one of my favorite bands that play up there.
Word.
And then one night, fist pump. So one night you pull me outside and you're going, so what is this? What would Goose do? And Got Goose thing. He's like, I'm in the dark about it. I remember sitting on the table outside. You asked me that, and you said, I want to be a part of it. And I said, well, let me give you some shirts and y'all kind of promote me. You said, no, let's take this to another level. And I remember sitting there and you go, how about Goose Fest? And I'm like, Goose Fest? He said, man, get you some bands up here, get you some food, and raise money for the Children's Hospital. So with that idea, I went straight into, and I was off work at that time, I went straight into my GM, Josh, and I said, we want to do Goose Fest. And he says, when and where?
Yep.
That's the only thing he said. I said, I want to do it here, and I will give you a date in the next couple of days. So we decided on June 28th, 2019 to do Goose Fest. So this where it really, really, really gets cool, and to know that there's some really, really good people out there. I approached 4 of my favorite bands that play there. yourself, Wes and Greg, Jackson Walls, Stephen Lane, and Danny and Randy. You guys bring the house. Y'all bring the smoke every time you play.
Thank you.
So everyone that I approach, I said, hey, guys, I want to do Goose Fest. I'm looking for bands. And that's as far as I had to get. All 4 of you guys, the band said, we're in.
Yeah, man.
We're going to do it on the house. Right.
That's it.
So any money you normally would pay us
goes straight into
it. So then the wheels start grinding. I'm like, okay, now I'm in on this thing, and it's going to happen. How it's going to happen, I have no clue. I've never even attempted something like this before. So I've got a buddy, Chris Euler, who's got a shop about a half a mile away from here, the Beveled Edge, and who does a lot of.
What is the Beveled Edge?
Oh, he's probably the best framer in Birmingham.
Okay.
And he's right up the road here. So I went to Chris, and he frames all my music memorabilia.
Okay.
He's the only person I let touch my Chris Cornell autograph Soundgarden poster.
Nice.
So that's how much I trust him.
There you go.
So I went to him, and he carries a lot of Alabama memorabilia. I'm an Auburn boy, so it's kind of hard to go in there sometimes. Anyway, I can say Roll Tide, but
that's a man right there. If I'm a Bama fan, and I'll give you a War Eagle right back. These people out here there's this hatred just building all year. Anyway,
let me tell you what, brother. It's a game.
Yeah, dude.
I have no control over it.
Yep.
You have no control over it. It's a bunch of kids that are making colleges and football and TV so much money, and they're not getting anything out of it. So don't come to me. I'm War Eagle, we beat Bama this year, but you know what? 3 weeks after the freaking game, people are still
rubbing it into people's faces. You hear that, man?
Oh yeah, I hear it at work.
Yeah,
because at a bar atmosphere, you're gonna get
dude. Do you know how long I've been hearing this Kick Six stuff?
Well, at least 6 years.
Man, I saw in traffic, like, I don't know, it was probably a year ago, but it stuck with me. Somebody had a personalized license plate for that.
Is it Kick Six?
That's a Kick Six. I'm like, God almighty, like, really?
Yeah.
It's vicious.
I'm waiting for the one that says Goose Rocks on it. Anyway.
Dude, you got a nice little Kia out there. I don't know. You could, dude, you're not above having that license plate on your
car. Oh, I'm not above anything.
You're not above that.
I'm not above anything.
Bro. I love that about you.
Yeah, you got to be, man.
That's right.
So anyway, so Goose Fest is going to happen, and we're planted on June 28th. It's a Saturday. And
which this is like right before I got sick.
This is right before you got sick.
I mean,
yeah. So
that was Saturday. Actually, on Sunday, it was when all of the stuff happened to me that pushed me into going to the doctor.
Yeah.
It was right then.
Yeah. So anyway, Chris, and I love this dude to death, man. He's a widespread Panic fanatic, man. I think he's seen Panic 4,000 times or whatever. Anyway, so I go and I approach him. He says, dude, anything you see in my store here, he's like, I will let you have at a certain price. He's like, I'm going to get you an autographed Bo Jackson football. Bo Jackson, Heisman Trophy winner, Ward Amigo.
We know Bo.
He got it for me.
That's awesome.
He donated a 2017 Alabama helmet and football signed by the entire team. Jalen Hurts, Tua.
That's crazy. How do you even go about getting that?
He knows people.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys.
Okay.
He's Spicoli from Fast Times at Ridgemont.
Right. Everybody knows him and loves him.
That's him.
Yeah.
That's Chris Euler. So big props to you, brother. And so you can put all this stuff together, and until the day of the event, you don't know what's going to happen.
No, you don't.
Is the man above looking down on me going to go, you know what? It's going to rain today, and it's going to rain on your parade.
Yeah.
But you know what? It was a beautiful, beautiful day. And I remember getting to work about 10 o'clock in the morning, at 9 o'clock actually, and we opened up at 11. Butterflies, man. I'm like, dude. And then Chris shows up with all this stuff. Daniel Moore prints. He's a famous Alabama artist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we know Daniel Moore.
The Bo Jackson football, the Alabama signed stuff. I took some of my personal music memorabilia that I've collected for 30 years, some Metallica stuff, some Pearl Jam, Wrigley Field stuff, and put it in there. Straight profit, right? And I'm like, I just needed room in my place to put new stuff. And I figured a lot of people would want this. And we opened up at 11. A couple people trickled in. I got my ladies outside on the patio where it's like 100 degrees.
Yeah, it was really
Had
hot.
my Goose Fest T-shirts, taking donations for those. Then about 12:30 rolled around, and I looked up, and there was not a spot in the bar where you could walk. I looked outside. There's 75, 100 people outside.
Dude, parking was nuts too. I think I had to park over by the sign, like in the grass.
Yeah, a lot of people did.
Yeah.
A lot of people had to park. And Tommy that from Oak Mountain Lanes, and this dude is super cool, man. He's like, dude, anybody who needs to use our parking lot, let them use our parking lot. He's like, we're not going to put that many people bowling on a Saturday when
man.
you got this going on.
No.
So everybody pulled together. It's about who you surround yourself with. Always keep that in mind. So anyway, from probably 12:30 in the afternoon until 9:30 at night, that place was packed. Silent auction, everything. We started off at a minimum bid on everything. Everything got well over minimum bids. We ended up doing almost $8,000 in one day. And I told a lot of people $8,000, but in reality, from the shirts that I had made from January, the Got Goose shirts and all that, and I probably did $800 on that through June 28th. But that combined with the monies taken in on June 28th, we were about $8,300 in one day, basically. And my goal beginning of the year was $10,000. And I think you asked me earlier what my goal was. So my goal was $10,000. So now I'm at about $8,300. And I'm thinking this is pretty good. The year's halfway over, so I've got another 6 months. I can do some stuff. And recently and throughout the year, people would come up to me and go, Goose, are you still raising money? I said, dude, this is a 365-day deal. I said, a lot of people just want to give at Christmas time. But there's kids who live there. You know what I'm saying? There's kids there on their birthdays. There's kids there on Valentine's Day. There's kids there on Easter. There's kids there on the 4th of July. There's kids there 365 days a year. I want to be able to buy toys every 2 months and take them down there. Do it. And that's it. That's my mindset. Until I'm not on this earth anymore, I will do that every 2 months. So then recently, another ego thing popped in my head. I'm going, I'm not a political person, and I'm not a political person. But I thought, okay, with all this stuff going on, impeachment, blah, 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 whatever, I'm like, vote Goose 2020.
Boom.
So, boom,
That's it. Yeah.
the little light bulb went off. And so I've got my same company that did my What Would Goose shirts do, make me up with quite a few of those. And I would say within about 10 days, I took in about $750, and half the people didn't even want a shirt. But I had the bumper stickers made too that says Vote Goose 2020. So if you see these little yellow and green bumper stickers around town that says Vote Goose 2020, that's me. And so, donations were coming in, and people still wanted some of the Goose Fest shirts, even though it was 4 or 5 months out of date. And then about 2.5, 3 weeks ago, I posted on social media that I was at $9,300. And, $700 short of my goal, but I'm happy. I mean, that's a lot of money in 1 year to do.
You're damn right, man.
So fortunately, I have a lot of people who follow my social media stuff for this. And, people started just coming in and going, how close are you? I don't know how close you are to $10,000, but here's $100. Here's $20. Here's $5. I got $7 in my purse. Here's this. So 2 weeks ago, I had some guests of mine, some friends of mine from the Beer Hog come up and said the same thing. We don't know how close you are, but here's $100. Well, when I started doing calculations, that put me over $10,000 for the year. So that's it in a nutshell, and it's just the beginning, brother.
Dude, it's so great.
It's
when are we doing the next Goose Fest?
Hopefully,
let's not do it in June. Let's do it.
No, I'm thinking March. I'm
Yeah,
thinking
like
when
March.
the weather's cooler, and
not so hot, not so cold.
or maybe
Actually, March gets really cold here.
well, then maybe April.
Yeah.
But June was really hot.
Yeah.
And I know that I've grown up here and everything, but Yeah, there will be a second Goose Fest, and it's going to be bigger and better. And you guys are going to play.
Yeah, man. You know we will.
And
God willing.
Yeah, it's going to happen. It'll happen.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing, man, because of all the crap that goes on in this world, and you hear nothing about the positive stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I refuse to watch the news. Negative, 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 negative. Sports, negative, negative. Weather, sports, negative, negative.
You're not wrong, and everybody's hip to it. I'm happy about the fact that everybody's kind of pulling away from having cable altogether because
I don't have it.
I haven't had it for 7 years.
My TV has not been cut on. I watched one movie back in June or July through my TV. Other than that, my TV has not been cut on in over a year.
Dude,
that's why I listen to vinyl. That's why I listen to music, man.
I love watching something like when I go to bed or whatever. And occasionally, I've got these like movies. I don't know if you do this, but like there are certain movies that I just have seen over and over and over. And ironically, one of those is Groundhog Day.
I can watch. Ironically enough.
Yeah, right.
But it's always the same, isn't it?
It is the same thing every time. They never change it.
Never changes.
If you put it in, it's the same thing.
That's crazy,
isn't it? Though.
Basically every movie.
Hey, you know what? I'm sorry.
Basically every movie's Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
You know,
if you watch it over and over.
If you watch it over and over, I bet nothing changes. If it does,
hey, I did talk to Chris though. I want to do a watch party for Groundhog Day on February the 2nd. I don't know if we're gonna have time to put it together or not, but
we got a big screen.
Yeah.
We got a projector.
I was thinking we could have like same thing. Turn it into some sort of a money raising venture for like what you do.
Well, here's another thing: is like Josh, my GM, cool guy, man, and but and I'm going to kind of get off the subject a little bit, but our retail guy, Magic Mike, and everybody knows
please.
Mike. Mike is battling stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and it's not good. And the tough thing about that is watching somebody you care about and you love and you've worked with for over 3.5 years deteriorate in front of your eyes, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. So we do every year at the Beer Hog, we have like a crawfish boil. We'll do a chili cook-off. But I believe, to my knowledge, Josh is going to do something to raise money for pancreatic cancer awareness. And how all that goes down, I'll find out, because I'll be behind it 150% like they.
Where is he at this point? Because I know that he went to the hospital after he fell, right?
Yeah. He's home.
Okay.
And just pray for the man. That's basically where we're at. And that's all I can say about it. But Mike is the cornerstone to that place, man. Everybody knows Mike.
Everybody loves Mike. Mike comes up here like, and I'll just share where we're at right now. My dad is an optometrist, so he's got an extra room that he's letting us use as a studio. And Mike and my dad, like, they're friends because he's great.
Yeah.
I know Dad was trying to help him get his pilot's license. Did you know he was going after that?
No.
Yeah, dude. How old is he? Like 80?
No, Mike's 70, mid-70s.
Mid-70s? Okay.
Been married 53 years.
Right.
Beautiful story on how I met his wife and all this stuff. But
yeah?
Dude, let me tell you how Mike met his wife.
Dude, do it, man.
So Mike's like, and here's something else. Mike and I have had this routine for about 3 years, and I'll call him Dad. And he'll go, and we've got this, and people actually think he's my dad. So now they're coming up and asking me, how's my dad doing? And I don't know what to say to him anymore, because he could be, I wouldn't care if he was my dad. I'd love to have Mike as a dad.
He's great.
But my dad's alive and well and 85 years old. But we had this little routine that, just to make people laugh, and we would tell him he was we'd tell people he was a male stripper in 1969 through 71 at Frank Sinatra's place in Las Vegas, and Mike would do this little dance, and everybody would cry laughing.
That's perfect for him.
It is perfect for him. But no, I didn't know he was trying to be a pilot.
Yeah, man.
I know what I was going to say. How he met his wife.
Oh yeah.
I'm old, so I get sidetracked.
Good. I'm on pills.
You got some more? I'm joking.
Yeah.
So
meet you in the parking lot. Yeah.
So Mike says that he was working at a photo developing place.
Right, because those existed, and for those of you who are too young to know, cameras used to involve film.
And you put the film in and you wind your little Kodak or your Kodachrome deal and you took pictures and then you sent them off to get them developed. It wasn't instant. It wasn't Photoshop. It wasn't like you
had no clue what you were going to get either. Most of it was just all shit.
Most of it was. But then Mike got the magic shot one time.
What's that?
He got his wife of 53 years, Charlotte, came in and dropped off some photos. Mike's eyes still gleam when he tells his story 53 years later. He says, Goose, he said, I was working at a photo developing store. He's like, this little lady comes in and drops off her film, and I developed it, and she's wearing a bikini. And he's like, I got to meet her. So he says he got her phone number off the little slip.
Yeah.
And called her up. He's like, she had a boyfriend at the time, but not for long.
Oh, man.
And they've been married over 53 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's something you don't hear anymore.
No, you don't.
You don't. And it's sad that you don't hear it anymore, but yeah, Mike is one of those guys, him and Charlotte, his wife, and just two beautiful people, man. They really are. Love them to death.
Man, he will always he loves it when I play what's the song?
It wasn't Wagon Wheel.
maybe it was that Tom Petty diddly we do. I don't know.
Maybe so.
No, it's now you can be all off the rails here. Hallelujah, Jeff Buckley. Hallelujah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude, he will stop what he's doing
and watch y'all.
And sit down or just stand there and watch.
That's a beautiful song too.
It is a beautiful song. He loves it every time.
Good. Well, we're gonna try to.
God, he's not working right now, is he?
No, but we're gonna once he's well enough to come back up there, and I pray to God that he comes up there and he's sitting behind the retail counter again and doing Magic Mike stuff, man.
See, I feel a little guilty because dude, I was on my way out. That needle was just about too far.
Yeah.
To be reversed, and so I feel like a little guilty about that. I shouldn't. There's no rationality behind it.
No.
But to watch him, because we got diagnosed almost exactly the same time.
Yeah.
It's within weeks of each other.
Yeah.
And then my next door neighbor, who I love to death, he wound up getting diagnosed. It's all these people around me.
It's an awful, awful thing, and
but for me to my body's responded so well to the chemo and everything, and it's I'm still working.
I mean, looking at you, if I didn't know your story,
you would have no clue.
I would have no clue whatsoever. Your hair's grown back. You look good.
Thank
you're
you.
In good spirits. You're like you were before.
Right.
And not that there was really a big change in you, but physically you could see it.
Yeah.
You slimmed down a little bit, and then you went ahead and shaved your head, and you were putting these damn screws in your ears.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is he doing? He's got these light up damn earrings in his ear, and he's got a screw. I was like, is that a real screw, or is that a freaking earring? I didn't know. I was like, he's lost his mind.
I was just like, man, I gotta have something fun to do, and
I thought about that too. When I saw you doing that, I'm going, you know what? Yes, do it, but you don't have to get sick to do it. Just do it anyway.
Yeah.
As far as I know, you're on this earth one time.
That's it.
I mean, until somebody comes back and proves it different.
Yeah.
Dude, every day, live it, brother. Because it's not a guarantee tomorrow.
I don't want to get into it, but man, how cool would it be if reincarnation is the way it is?
Well, what would you want to come back as?
Honestly, I'd like to come back as me again and do it.
But know what you know now?
But no, at least even an inclination of what I know now. Because let me tell you, all right, so I was up in Muscle Shoals. I've got this great friend of mine, Maxwell Russell. He's a tremendous blues player. We used to co-host up at Mike's when I lived up there. And he does this, every once in a while he'll give it another go to have a songwriter night where they have a writers on the round. So you got 3 people on stage, and it's swapped song, which is really fun for the audience because you're getting 3 different styles and it's mixed up, and you get you're listening to a mixtape live basically. And but we were up there. We were at the Holiday Inn, and they put me up in a hotel room, and the bar shut down, and I grabbed some whiskey. Right, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna give me 2 beers and a little bit of whiskey. And lady, I used to know her. She pours me a huge glass of Maker's Mark, and I'm like, all right, that's perfect. That's my little nightcap. I'm gonna go upstairs and sip on this and watch TV and stuff, and get up. And I woke up like dehydrated. Did you ever do that? Like when you drink some liquor? And
Never.
Never. It's like, I'm like, it's like 3 a.m. and I'm like, I don't really want to drink the water out of the tap. So I'm like trying to scrounge and like I had a water bottle here somewhere anyway. I finally get it and I'm trying to go back to sleep and I just start meditating and I did the whole thing, where you let your fingers and toes relax all the way down and I had this like weird like vision. I don't know if it's a memory or a vision or if it's totally made up. Because I can't claim it's real, but there's too many influences involved. But I recalled very vividly being born. And my literal thought was, I don't want to do this again. It was like, now, the room I described to my mom, because it wasn't like what you expect. Like you see TV, there's a huge room, right? Operating room.
Oh, yeah.
And it wasn't like that. It was a smallish room. And the doctor had like dark hair, bald, with glasses. All of that confirmed with my mom. So I don't know. I can't claim it's real, but it would be easy to. And if that is a real thought or a real memory, then what does that mean? Like right now I'm at the happiest point I've ever been in my entire life. Okay. And then I have this thing that I'm facing, and it's like, at the end of this last round of chemo, I'm scared, man, because I felt myself starting to go back downhill, and they can only give you chemo for so long.
Yeah. So
I'm hoping I can line up with the right doctors and get this thing going in the right direction with some other treatment. But yeah, man, I would love to come back as me and want to do it, because my whole life I've never given a crap about anything. I just, in the back of my mind, I've thought nothing mattered my entire life.
Wow.
Now I have, a wife, 2 stepsons that really have just changed my entire view of the world. And I love my life, man. Want to keep doing it. But anyway, I don't want to get into all that. But
no, you're cool, man. It's
like, how cool would that be to come back, though? I would love it. Did you ever see the movie, what was it? Defending Your Life with Albert Brooks? No?
Unless it's got Scarlett Johansson in it, I don't watch it, bro. She's like my dream woman, and Scarlett is like, we dated one time, and then I woke up.
So, like, Defending Your Life was about this guy dies, and he goes, to what they call purgatory, basically, and it's like a town.
I lived there one time.
Yeah, well, it was like a town, and you could eat whatever you wanted and go do whatever you want. And then during the day, though, you're in like a court proceeding, reviewing snippets in your life. It's a beautiful movie. You would really dig it. You gotta watch it.
I may, because the first part of that sounded like my life today. I mean, I eat what I want, do what I want. I'm single.
Right.
I'm in today.
Oh, shout out to the single ladies out there.
That dog ain't hunting, brother.
Oh, no? Okay, all right.
Yeah, because I have a sign on my bag that says, if you're batshit crazy, I'm available. Yeah. I wore that for like 9 or 10 years. I didn't know it. And I was at Walmart one day, and this old lady comes up and says, Sonny, there's something on your back. And I said, what? And she peeled this sign off, and it says, if you're blonde and batshit crazy, I'm available.
Was it like on a jacket or something?
No, I didn't really know it was on there.
Yeah.
But I wore it for like 9 or 10 years.
Yeah. Are you speaking in metaphors?
Yes.
Okay. I was like, I'm confused.
But I took it off, man.
What was this woman? Was she like a witch doctor?
Yeah,
or she picked up on it?
She probably saved my life, though.
Yeah.
Because the last one was going to off me, actually. That's why I ended up in Birmingham, to be
what?
honest. Oh, yeah. That's another episode.
Oh, my God.
Okay. My batshit crazy exes.
All right.
Could be a new song we could write together, too.
Oh, all my exes live... No, that's right.
Crazy exes.
They
live in Chattanooga. They live in Lexington. They live in Tampa, Florida. They live wherever I go.
Oh, man. I've got the guitar in the car, man.
I got my drum box. I got my little Cajun, whatever you call it.
Cajun.
What's it called? A cajon? What?
It's a cajon, man.
Oh, I thought cajones was there.
You knew the answer to that.
No, I thought it was. I didn't know. Anyway,
What instruments do you play?
I can play air guitar, and on the drums, I can play the first 3 minutes and 17 seconds of "Stairway to Heaven." Seriously, I mean, watch this. There's a lady. I have 3 guitars at home, and that's it.
Yeah,
I play for my cats.
that's beautiful. Is that a good gauge on like if you're doing good because they'll hang out with you?
Well, let me tell you how my cats work. Yeah, I mean they do that, and I know we're whatever on time.
Yeah, we don't have time.
We don't have time.
No, we don't have any. Like, there's no problem. We can do this. If we want to sit down and record till tomorrow, we could.
Okay, so here's the deal. My girl cat, whose name is Miss America, she's about 16 pounds of total just cat. So if I'm fortunate enough to coerce a female to come over to my apartment, right? So you go in and you do the drinks and you put on some Judas Priest or I'm joking.
No, yeah, like you do. Like you do. Yeah,
so sit down on the couch. So if the girl cat jumps in between me and the female,
yeah,
the woman's got to leave. That means she's not all the way there.
Yeah.
So if my girl cat rolls over on the floor and lets her rub her tummy,
that's a green light.
Then it's Goose time. Dun, 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 dun. The boy cat doesn't care.
Yeah.
He's like, just feed me.
And do what you want.
And I'm going to watch. I'm going to sneak into the bedroom, just jump up on the bed and go, wow, wow. And he does it. He's a perv. But he lives with me, so.
He gets it honest. Is that the?
Yeah, he's honest, and those are my two girls. And somebody, my bartender at work, Alex, the other day gave me a pair of socks that has my cats on them.
Like literally your cats?
Yeah. She took them off my social media page.
Really?
And click, something, sent them somewhere, and I got a pair of
Dude,
socks.
I love Alex. Alex is great.
She's cool. Everybody there. I mean, it's just, I got a good and everybody knows that, as you get older, your family moves and everybody spreads away, but your work family, you're around people at work more than
absolutely
anybody. So I know more about those people, and they know probably more about me than they want to know about me. Then I basically do my own family, I mean, you talk to your family every once in a while. You see these people 5 days a week for 8-9 hours at a time.
Right.
So you share a lot of stuff. And some stuff.
Tried. Go ahead.
And I share stuff that I shouldn't share, but, until they tell me to shut up, I'm going to keep talking.
Well, you're good at it. I'm definitely glad you're here doing this with us. Okay, so I had a couple questions.
I have answers.
Okay. So, my oldest stepson Pete, he's about to turn 18 early next year. So he's just give you a frame of reference, and so he's going to be going out into the world, right?
Yep.
What are the standard go-to advices for generic life advice for somebody who's just getting out of high school and going to college?
Go to college. Keep your nose clean. Is that a ghost?
It might be.
We have a ghost in the building.
Uh-oh. Hello? Can we help you? We're recording. Okay. All right.
And that was the ghost of, Christmas present. He was a jolly man.
He was a good dude.
But he died in a bizarre garden
I gotta get like
accident.
a light out there or something, like a red light.
Like a light recording.
Or maybe like a sock on the door, something classy.
A sock on the door, nah, that's a little...
No?
I would just put a sinuses recording.
Yeah, just leave it at that?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, so I can make one up. So he's 18, he's going to college.
Yep.
You know what? Do your college. I know everybody wants to party, but you know what? Once you get out of college, reality hits.
Hard.
Mom and dad aren't there to pay your bills for you. Nobody's there. Yes, you. And I'm talking from experience. I mean, when I was, I got out of school and everything and headed to Atlanta, Georgia, but, in the early 80s, I don't know, but I did what I wanted to do, and I've always done that, and I've always just packed up, and I don't live the life that I recommend other people look at me and go, that's the way it's done because
No.
I fly by the seat of my pants, and I always have.
Yeah,
I'm
me
a
too.
gypsy, and everybody's even in school. They go, you know, I mean, I just left one day, and probably the last 3 times I've moved, I just like I'm moving tomorrow, and I'd get a U-Haul truck, load my stuff up, and go somewhere without a job and a place to live.
Not even a job lined up.
No, you sink or swim, baby, and I can swim. And that's it. And that's the God's honest truth, man. It's not for coming to Birmingham, which was a life or death deal, honestly. I thought this girl was going to kill me. And I love my sister, Tracy, who came to Lexington with a pickup truck and loaded as much stuff as I could on that thing 6 years ago and brought me to Birmingham. And I've been here since. But, yeah, so the advice thing, you know, do the schooling. I know you want to party. You know, you got your life to do that. Do it. And get you a good job.
Yeah, he's so smart, man.
Well, good. I mean, that's
he got a 30.
That's a big plus right there.
Oh yeah, dude. And he's got like knowledge that people his age don't have. Like I don't know what it is about him. He's a little more streetwise. So I think he's gonna be good. The youngest one's gonna be it's gonna be a wild ride.
Like me
or me.
You know, I mean, street sense.
I totally get the nomadic thing because I'm straight up like I've moved every 3 years since I got out of high school.
Yeah,
every 3 years, like clockwork, man.
Dude, I was counting the other day on how many times I moved since high school.
Yeah,
I've got 20-something moves.
Are you kidding?
No. And it's about as many jobs.
Yeah.
I mean, I get bored.
Right, me too.
You know, and I don't know why. It's just like when it's not a challenge anymore. If I get up in the morning, and go, I dread doing something.
Yeah.
That's it, bro. It's like, why do it? If I'm not going to enjoy what I'm doing,
don't do it.
I'm not going to do it, man. This life, like I said, as far as I know, you go around once, man. So I'm going to enjoy every.
Well, that's why I want to do this. I love this, man.
This is cool, man.
This is fun.
This is as long as everything is working,
right?
I mean, we're 50 minutes into it, and I hate to go, oh man, the audio didn't record.
Oh shit! Oh.
Or we can get somebody to come in here and voice track over us.
Right.
I want a.
Dude, I'm getting somebody with an accent if that happens.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
I want Dr. Kim Jong or whatever his name was. Who's the little doctor? You know what I'm talking about?
Nah.
He does like these celebrity panel judges. Anyway, so I'll figure with
Dude,
it.
I'm so like on edge about like what exactly means racism. Like,
well, I know because I just want to say, do I say Asian? Or do I?
You have to say Asian, and you cannot say Oriental. That's
what I was getting confused at. But he's an Asian guy, and he's a comedian. But I just want to know what a tall white guy would sound like with an Asian accent.
Dude, be great. You know, what if he's busy?
Are we under attack?
Maybe.
Is it Wednesday?
It is not Wednesday. Wait a minute. What is today?
Monday.
Monday. Yeah.
Anyway, if you can't hear it, there's like major.
There's something going on. There's an ambulance.
And I hate to say sirens because they go, it's a siren. I said, it's a siren. They go, boy, you country.
Yeah, man.
It's a siren.
Oh, was it? It was a movie, Nothing But Trouble with Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd, and I think Chris Farley was in it. And anyways, Dan Aykroyd plays this really crazy judge, and they do like insane makeup on him to make him look old and creepy, and they do a really good job of it. And he says one of the quotes that I got out of that movie was, "If it's an ambulance, you got a chance, but if it's in a hearse, it's got to be worse." This is just like stuck with me for some reason. Every time I hear an ambulance, I think about that movie now.
I've never seen the movies.
Now, I've got a dog that tries to emulate the siren. It's the most annoying thing you've ever experienced.
My cat tries to do Casey Kasem. Really? My cat can talk.
Can you do a Casey Kasem?
Who, me?
Yeah.
This is Casey Kasem on American Top 40, debuting at number 13 this week. This band out of California called the Eagles is Heartache Tonight.
Yeah, that's not bad. Not
Thank
bad.
you.
Yeah.
I used to listen to him. He was my savior when I lived in Opp, Alabama. OPP.
I know Opp.
Yeah,
only because I had to look it up one day.
My dad still lives there. So I lived there from like 1975, 76, 77. Anyway, we moved February 14th of 1978. I remember the day we moved from Opp, Alabama. But there was a radio station out of Enterprise, Alabama called WKMX 107.3, Sunday nights from 6 to 10 o'clock, American Top 40.
And that was Casey Kasem.
That was Casey Kasem on American Top 40.
Kasem.
This band, whose guitarist is from Montgomery, Alabama, Tommy Shaw, and his band Styx from Chicago, and Come Sail Away.
Dude, you know what was so tragic about radio, man?
What it's become?
Yes.
Fuck it. Heck, tell me about it.
Yeah, man.
You know what? I was a radio DJ from 1990 to 2013.
I remember you saying that.
And my final shift basically was I just had enough. And we would play the same 8 bands over at a classic rock station, right? So you got bands like Deep Purple, and you got these bands like Black Sabbath, and you got this big, vast catalog of great rock and roll, and you can only find one song out of 72 to play. But then it became an on-air game show to me. And here's basically what I said one night before the red light started flashing. So I was in Tampa, Florida. And I was like, you know what? This is not working anymore. I was like, you know what? It's not, the music that we play is not enough to keep you listening. But if we guarantee you $100,000 a year, you're going to listen to our radio station. I said, that's not the way it's supposed to be. I said, when I got into radio, the term air personality meant when you cracked that mic, you had to be entertaining. It doesn't matter anymore. And it got to the point that the only thing that changed was the voice of the announcer. And if you went off script, I got called to my program director's office on Monday morning going, you wasn't supposed to say that. Yeah. The song is called Atomic Punk, not The Atomic Punk from Van Halen. Seriously. And that was it. And the red light started going off. And I think I put on Star Wars soundtrack and left. And locked all the doors. Put bubble gum and super glued all the key locks so nobody could get in.
Oh man, out with a blaze,
like a blaze of glory, said Johnny Bon Jovi. Anyway,
it's awful, man. It used to mean like a good DJ would find the cool stuff, the cool new stuff. I'd find the needles in the haystack. It's all money,
almighty dollar, and
96, man. The deregulation of radio.
Yeah,
by Bill Clinton.
It killed everything.
He killed it.
He killed it. Bill Clinton killed it.
With a pen.
Well, don't say that because we're not being dead too.
Because of the Clintons?
I'm not saying a word. I'm playing the fifth, brother. Hillary, I'm joking.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see that? Dave Chappelle.
I love Dave.
Yeah, man. The whole thing is, I think everybody knows about the skit by now, but it's basically, what if black people were treated like white people in court? Where they just like fifth,
yeah.
Anyway, just funny.
But yeah, radio is
like Clear Channel, Cumulus. It turned everything into an oligopoly.
Here's what got me, and here's
just a few big players.
Here's when I decided that I'd had enough. Is when I lived in Tampa, and there was a Clear Channel station there. I think it was 96 Rock. 98 Rock, and their sister station was in Atlanta, 96 Rock WKLS, which was a great rock and roll station back in the 70s and 80s when I lived there. And I remember hearing this dude, his name was Big Rig, R-I-G. He was on 7 to midnight in Tampa. So I'm driving up to Atlanta to see a Black Crowes show. Used to love that band, read the book. Anyway, so I hit Atlanta about 8 o'clock in the morning, and I switch over to WKLS 96 Rock, and I'm hearing Big Rig on the station in Atlanta. I'm going, this is the same guy I just heard 8 hours before in Tampa. I said, what's going on here? Then I found out about voice tracking and what they would do. And the reason I'm saying this is because there's a lot of people today who are going to broadcasting school thinking they're going to make a living in radio and stuff. It ain't happening. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but it's not going to happen for the sake. So I started investigating, and I was like, what is going on? So then I found out that Clear Channel, being the big conglomerate that they are, would, instead of paying somebody, radio really didn't pay. But what you got in perks made up for it. I got free tickets and never bought music. I got flown to New York.
Meet cool people.
Yeah, you got to meet, and that's what I spent my money on anyway. So if I only made $42,000 a year, technically I was making $60 because of all the freebies and stuff.
Yeah.
And the flights and stuff. Anyway, so what they would do was, instead of paying somebody, I'm going to say $40,000 a year to do a 7 to midnight gig in Atlanta, they would pay this dude like $20,000 to sit on his butt in Tampa and voice track their show, because they would send him a script going what the weather's going to be like and everything else, and they would send him a script of what was going to be played. So he would sit there in Tampa and send it via email or whatever to Atlanta. So they would just load it in the computer. So they're saving $20,000 a year because they don't have to pay somebody $40,000.
Right. So
you know what I'm saying?
It's a syndication, really.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's where you make your money anyway.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if
Yeah,
it was
you're not going to be rich in radio unless you've got a show concept that you own.
Yeah.
And it's being pumped out.
Yeah. Yeah. But the other part is like, I thought it was sad that, you know, and I would talk to kids and they go, man, you sound like you got the coolest gig and all this stuff. And well, let me tell you how it is, man. It's not going to be that way for 10 years. And I got a lot of friends in Montgomery that are still on radio, and they talk about the good days, 70s, 80s, and 90s. Yeah. And then it's
gone.
It's sad, man.
It's really
a
sad,
lost
dude.
art, man. It's a beautiful thing. It's like nobody listens to, I'm not going to say no one listens to commercial radio anymore, but I can tell you this, since 2004, I have probably listened to a total of 2 hours of commercial radio, and that's only because I've been in the car with somebody listening to it.
Right. What do you listen to? CDs?
No. I got 5,000 CDs in my closet, man, that I'm never going to listen to. I actually, from time to time, I will activate my Spotify. And the great thing with Spotify is, yeah, it's $9.99 a month, but I basically get any band that I want to.
Right.
And if I make my own playlist, I know it's going to be good because I put
You
the
made
songs
it.
on.
Yeah,
I
that's
made
right.
it. So it's all killer, no filler, boys and girls. And then like, I don't know, I like to buy new cars every once in a while, so I'll trade my old one in, and so you get 3 or 6 months free of Sirius XM radio. And I was going to get rid of it about 2 months ago, and I discovered the Billy Joel station.
What is the Billy Joel station?
Billy Joel station it's like, it was on XM, and they're bringing it back in January, just to let you know. But I love Billy Joel, man. And he's next to my Judas Priest album.
So if he has a station, does he actually talk? Does he have like a show and stuff that he does?
What it does is like he sat down probably for a 2-hour interview, and he tells stories about what transpired him or whatever to write these certain songs. It's like Piano Man. He said in 1970, 71, 72, he was in Los Angeles, and he's like, that's pretty autobiographical because he played at a bar, and there was a guy named Davey who was in the Navy and all this stuff, and he's like, it's pretty much verbatim to what his life was then. He wrote a song about it in 74, 75.
There's one of those rumors going around too about that song that he stole it from somebody. I don't know.
I haven't heard that one.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either.
I know. Yeah.
I don't have a Jamie like Joe Rogan has to look that up for me. So.
Yeah, my phone's on silent.
Yeah, my phone's the camera being used over here.
Good.
So
Am I on that one?
Yeah, you're on this one.
Hey, I think it's been pointing at my shoulder the whole time.
I don't know. Maybe Dad fixed it when he opened the door.
Who knows? Anyway, if you're to see my shoulder,
right?
So but yeah, and music, man. So there's a song. No, I'm not even good there. Anyway, Billy Joel is so he tells stories about the songs, man. And it's like, here's how much of a stud he was. So when he wrote Uptown Girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Singular, Uptown Girl.
Yeah.
He originally was going to call it Uptown Girls. Do you know why? Because he was dating Elle McPherson, Christy Brinkley, and like 2 or 3 other models. Billy Joel, the little bug-eyed boy. He's pulling this stuff, man. So then him.
I would not want to date 4 people at once.
Well, he's the stud muffin,
yeah,
man.
okay.
And so then him and Chrissy got serious, and then he changed it to Girl, because he's like, you know what? If I sing Uptown Girls, going home at night, it's not going to be very fun.
Yeah.
So that's what he did.
Huh.
You know, so and that's what was the great thing about the Billy Joel station is he tells these stories. But
See, that's cool because I know that there are stations on there where like there's no interaction, there's no stories, there's no motivation being shared. It's just straight up. You might as well be listening to Spotify.
But I've heard Stiletto and Songs from an Italian Restaurant about 500 times, and I don't want to hear it again.
Yeah.
But if I could share one story, Billy Joel. My Billy Joel. I got 2 Billy Joel stories. Can I
Tell me, man. Go.
2003 or 4, Elton John and Billy Joel are on tour together.
Okay.
And so the girl I was dating at the time in Tampa bought me a ticket. 3rd row on the floor.
Oh, she
at that
liked
time,
you.
At the time, the most ever spent on a concert ticket.
Yeah.
Ever was $185. Anyway.
Serious money.
Yeah. Because it didn't come out of my account.
Dude, that's a lot of money right now.
Yeah,
What,
it's
are
a
you
lot of money
kidding
right
me?
I spent more on Kiss. But
I make less when I play for 4 hours at the Beer Hog.
you need to renegotiate your contract, brother. I have nothing to do with that. So anyway, we're 3rd row on the floor. And so about 10 minutes before the lights go down, this is Elton John and Billy Joel,
Okay.
face-to-face tour.
Sweet.
So the usher, the old guys who go around and check your tickets up, is that your seat, boy? Anyway,
Yeah.
he says when Elton goes into his 3rd song, which I think was Tiny Dancer, they're going to let the first 3 rows of the floor go up against the stage.
Okay.
All right?
What, are they shooting this?
No. So I don't think so. And so sure enough, man. So Billy Joel and Elton John come out together. The pianos are on the stage. Billy Joel is about 10 feet away from me.
Hell yeah.
And Elton John is about 25 feet to my left.
Yeah, buddy.
Big fan of both of them.
Yeah.
So they come out and they do your song. They do something else. They do like 3 songs together. Then Billy Joel's piano goes down. And Elton is out there. Plays a 2-hour set. But like every other song, Elton John would walk around the stage and bow and shake hands, right? Like a true performer, right? And the guy's got big feet too, brother. I'm
Does
like,
he?
dude, you got some boats on. Anyway, so I'm right up against the stage. I'm 6'4", right? So my length is like 7 foot with my arms straight.
Gotcha.
So he stands right in front of me and he shakes my hand.
Hell
I'm like,
yes.
oh my God. I've been an Elton John fan since 75, right?
Yeah.
Captain Fantastic was out. So he goes and he plays some more stuff and he comes around again. And so I've got my ticket stub and I'm like, if he stands in front of me again, I said, but I don't have an ink pen. Well, this dude's standing next to me and my girlfriend at the time. He's got one of the little nerd pockets with a big pen in it.
Yeah.
So Elton comes around, he stands in front of me. So I snatch the pen out of the guy's shirt pocket, right? I hand my ticket stub and Elton signs my ticket stub.
Get out of town.
I get out of town. Let me tell you some more. So then he's playing, right? And then Davey Johnson, his guitarist for all these years, long blonde hair guy, right? And he's playing Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting. I'm up against the stage. The guitar neck is over my head, right? And he's going da-da-da, da-da-da. And he's got a handful of guitar picks. I'll hold my hand like that. And he drops like 12 of them in my hand.
Holy
I'm like,
crap.
oh, man. So I've got an Elton John autograph. I gave out some picks. I got 3 left framed at home. I said, all I need now is Nigel Olsson, who was his original drummer, drumstick. Dude, as God is my witness right now. He gets through playing. He comes out to drum riser. What does he do? Gives me his freaking drumstick.
Get out, man.
So I'm sitting here
This
going,
is one concert?
yeah, this is one concert, and it gets better, boys and girls. So then I've got the Elton John autograph. I got the Davey Johnson guitar picks. I've got the Nigel Olsson drumstick. Now Billy Joel comes out. Billy Joel's not wearing underwear because there's a way you can tell. You know, I mean, it's just he wears these suits, and they were banging up against his leg. Anyway,
Okay, all right.
anyway, visualize that. That's not a good one. We call it free balling. Anyway, that's a new song from Tom Petty.
Yeah, free balling. I got you. Yeah.
So Billy does this stuff, and just like Elton John, like every 3rd song, he'd come around. Well, now he's 10 feet from me. His piano is literally 10 feet. If I could spit on him, I could have. Which, in reality, after everything I'm about to say, I should have. So he comes in front of me, and the guy that I took the pen from is gone now. And so is my girlfriend at the time. I just put one and one together. Anyway, so maybe he was playing Rocket Man. I don't know. So,
Was that a North Korea joke? Sorry.
yeah. Well, Rocket Man. So Billy Joel stands right in front of me. I give him the ticket stub and the pen.
Uh-huh.
He takes it from my hands, and I'm like, this is not happening. He looks at it. He hands it back to me without signing it and snarls at me as he walks away. I got snarled by Billy Joel. He would not sign my ticket stub.
That's weird.
Okay, so that's story number one.
Well, actually, I'm surprised Elton John did it.
Well, he knew I was a fan.
Yeah.
I mean, I wrote him like 10,000 love letters, from 1975 going, Elton, would you save my life tonight? And, I mean, I would just redo the lyrics to all of his songs and send them to him. And then there was that restraining order. Once he moved to Buckhead, I couldn't get within like 45 minutes of Buckhead.
Oh.
So I couldn't go see any shows at the Omni or the Fox for a long time.
That's terrible.
So anyway, now let's fast forward if I can.
God, I can never tell when you're kidding, man. You put
No, that's the truth. Same thing with Christina Abernathy from the Weather Channel. Oh, I wrote a song about her called Weather Channel Girl, I'm in Love with You.
I remember you
That's
telling
another
us about
story.
that, yeah.
That's another story.
Okay.
So then,
Teaser alert.
yes, teaser alert. Speaking of teases. So about 4 months ago, I'm at work and I'm a bartender. Staying with Billy Joel here. So this young lady comes up and I'm checking IDs. And her name is Leyna, Leyna. Billy Joel had an album that came out in 1980 called Glass Houses, which had You May Be Right and other stuff on it. Well, he's got a song on there called All for Leyna. Dun, 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 my favorite Billy Joel song. So I'm going, she's too young to know. So I gave her license back. So as I'm pouring her beer, in my back's to her, I kind of nonchalantly look over my shoulder and I said, hey, do you ever listen to Billy Joel?
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, why? I'm like, because he's got this song on his 1980s Glass Houses album called All for Leyna. And her eyes get like big, like Billy Joel's bug eyes, right?
Yeah.
She's like, you're the first person to ever put one and one together. I said, what do you mean? She's like, I was named after that song.
Oh.
So I'm thinking, Goose has got the in.
Yeah.
So now Goose is going to make the move on this girl until she says the words that every guy wants to hear.
Huh.
You must be as old as my dad. I'm like, oh, man. So it went from like,
Groaner.
to, where's my cane? Wah, wah, wah. So those are my Billy Joel stories. But you know what? Me and the girl became social media friends. And she's moving to Chicago like this week. Today. So I'll probably never see her again. But I thought it was kind of cool that she was named after like my favorite Billy Joel song.
Yeah, that is cool. Yeah.
And she recognized the fact that I knew that.
Man, meeting famous people is always kind of interesting. I met Slash and Keith Urban at the same time. Did I ever tell you this story?
You've told me the story, and it's a great story. Go for it, man.
It's like, so I'm up in Nashville, and my whole dream was to be in music publishing, and before the industry tanked, thanks to all the free sources of music that we have now, and the fact that Google Play pays out like just nothing. It's nothing. I can't remember what the thing was. I think it was like 10,000 hits is like $1 or something. Like it's ridiculous. Anyway, so I'm up there. I'm at this little pub, and it's right across the street from Vanderbilt. Like they got a little strip area, any college town has that little district. And I'm in there. I've got my laptop, got notepads, I got my resumes. And I just get the biggest table that they have in the joint, and eat a burger. So I've just got tons of space, and about to be packing it up. And I hear a couple of guys walking by. And when you're in Nashville, if you see somebody that looks famous, your first thought shouldn't be, hey, that's that famous person I think this is. It should be, hey, look, another asshole. Because that's just this so abundant to have that experience in Nashville. And so I see, two jerks looking like Keith Urban and Slash, and I'm like, man, boy, they are trying so hard, to look like these people. And anyway, I just casually say, because I heard one of them say, hey, we don't have a table big enough for our crew. And I was like, hey, guys, I'm about to be done. Y'all can sit down when I pack up and leave. And they just sit down in front of me. And I still think, well, a couple of assholes. And literally, I guess I found out later, they're both sponsored by Martin Guitars. Was it Martin? Gibson. And so they had both come in for a photo shoot, I found out later. And it was totally them.
Wow. It
was just like they had to do some promotional pictures. And I'm sure Keith was like, come on, I'll take you out and we'll go get some lunch at a cool little college pub,
Wow.
And Keith Urban is like, well, thanks, man. And he's like motioning for me to leave. It's like, I just gave you a table. And you're being a jerk.
I'd been hunting down Nicole Kidman. Because he's not home. I'm just saying, man.
I don't even know. I don't keep up with that. Who is Nicole Kidman married to? Keith Urban?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or she was until she meets me.
You want to hear something funny? I didn't know I didn't know he was from Australia. So when he was talking with an Australian accent, I was like, oh yeah, definitely some asshole blowhard over here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had no clue.
He's from Australia, so. But yeah.
Cool. Well, let's wrap this puppy up.
Let's wrap it like a Christmas gift.
Dude, we got it. We're right past an hour and 15 minutes, man. 75 minutes of talking.
Dude, it's been cool, man.
I love it. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you for having me. Handshake.
Yes, sir.
You can't see it.
Appreciate it, man.
I just shook his hand.
All right, so everybody, just a quick reminder, y'all go to Beer Hog and see Goose. Get some Goose shirts. How many 2020 shirts have you got left over?
I don't know, but I can order more.
Okay, well,
I've got a whole year to
do it for the kids, people.
Do it for the kids, man. It's
and the Beer Hog is great. If you haven't been to the Beer Hog, freaking go.
65 beers on tap.
Yeah.
65 beers on tap. No domestics. So if you're looking for water,
you're.
I mean, why? If somebody comes in and says, "Hey, man, can I get a Bud Light?" And then I go over there and pour them a glass of water.
Yeah, well, what's the difference, really?
That's what I tell them. And then they call me a smart ass and everything else, and they want to come over the bar and kick my ass and all this stuff. And I'm like, dude, get a real beer.
Yeah.
Get a real beer.
Well, people have no clue.
They don't. A lot of people do, but there's a lot of people who. Anyway, we've got something for you.
Yeah. Out of 65 different beers and types.
And
so
we have wine.
In Pelham, Alabama. Yeah, there's wine. Yeah, it's retail. It's awesome.
It's awesome, man. It's a cool thing. Come by and.
You know what I love about the Beer Hog?
Me.
How did you know what I was going to say?
Because you had that look in your eyes. I know.
Was there sparkle? That was the light, actually.
It was the wink.
Was it?
I think you had something in your eye, actually. So.
Dude, getting married there was the best decision I've ever made.
You got married there, and I thought that was real. And you know what? We've had like two. We may have had like 2 weddings there, and we have a buttload of like bachelorette parties, which I try to work every time because I'm going,
man.
Have I had too much to drink?
No.
Oh, you haven't. Are you single? Yes. No. In fact, let me buy your next 3.
That's so creepy.
Yes. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Yeah, no, that was awesome. And Chris and everybody, like, they just stepped up. We got the Deerman barbecue.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, it's so good. And I was just a blind shot in the dark. I was like, I've never eaten there. We wanted to go up there and grab a plate and just make sure. But I was like, no, I trust Chris. We're going to... They're going to do it.
I got some good food up there.
Yeah.
So
it was awesome.
Yeah, he used to bring some stuff in for us every once in a while, but now...
He doesn't even come in.
Fridays.
Fridays is his thing?
Fridays. I'm joking, Chris. I love you.
Cool.
Until he fires me.
All right. Well, much love to everybody out there listening. Thanks for checking it out.
Happy holidays.
Yeah, happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Whatever it is. Kwanzaa.
If you're single and not batshit crazy, I'm available.
Yeah. You know that's only going to attract the batshit crazy ones when you say that, though, right?
I know. I don't care. Yeah. Goose needs loving, too.
That's right. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. This has been the first episode successfully, we hope. I think so, unless we get into the audio.
And what's it called again?
What the Wes.
I don't think we ever mentioned that.
No, we didn't, did we?
No. Maybe you could edit it.
I'll add it in at the beginning.
What the Wes?
What the Wes with a that you know what that thing is called with the exclamation point next to a question mark.
Yeah, what's it called?
It's called an interrobang.
Damn.
Isn't that a great word?
Interrobang.
Interrobang.
It sounds like
interracial porn.
It sounds like having sex with an alien. Hey, you an interrobang?
All right, so like
it's gonna be my pickup line.
We just took this from like PG-13, knocked it up to R.
Is it really R?
I don't know. Maybe
you've let some profanity fly, and I've been good with that. Maybe one.
You said one F-bomb.
Under my breath.
It was under your breath. That's true. All right,
because I'm used to saying that at least 24 times before I get up out of bed.
We're just blabbing at this point. Let's close this off.
Let's do it.
Hey, thanks, man. I really appreciate you being on.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.